Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. In the far reaches of the cosmos, the universe stretched across unimaginable distances, populated by a vast variety of alien species. These civilizations, some older than the stars themselves, had long since established their own set of values and ideals. Across galaxies, star systems, and nebulae, beings of all kinds had mastered the art of survival, coexisted with other species, and achieved impressive advancements in technology, science, and philosophy. Yet, despite their intellectual and technological achievements, many of these races remained fundamentally disconnected from the most primal and enduring of human experiences: love. For them, emotions had been long considered primitive and disruptive to their advanced societies. Relationships, in the eyes of these beings, were built on logic, utility, and necessity. Diplomacy was based on shared goals, power dynamics, and the economics of cooperation. To love someone or something was, to them, a vulnerability, an unnecessary distraction from the cold, rational order they had perfected. Among these species, the notion of romance was either non-existent or so deeply embedded in their biological processes that it had lost its meaning. Romantic attachments were reduced to biological functions that maintained the survival of the species or served utilitarian purposes. There was no room for affection or desire to transcend these biological imperatives. Species who had perfected their technological prowess and intellectual acuity had long since discarded the chaos of emotional intimacy. The very concept of love, as humans knew it, something uncontrollable, irrational, and transcendent, was a mystery to them. They could not fathom how something as unpredictable and uncontrollable as love could have any real significance in the vast, logical order of the universe. But in the far corner of this galaxy, on a small, blue planet teeming with life, a species emerged that would forever alter the way the universe perceived relationships, connection, and the very nature of existence itself: humanity. At first glance, humans seemed like an insignificant species, a fragile, volatile race, caught in the throes of their own societal upheavals, war, and constant struggle for survival. They had barely begun to reach beyond their home planet when their first tentative steps into space were made, sending crude probes and small ships into the cosmic void. For the older alien races, the idea of humans reaching the stars seemed laughable, nothing more than a passing curiosity, a species too young, too reckless, and too naive to have any real impact on the broader galactic community. And yet, as the universe began to watch them more closely, something utterly unexpected began to unfold. It wasn't their technological achievements or their physical prowess that drew the attention of the universe. It wasn't their raw energy or their drive for dominance. It was something far more profound: humans were capable of love. Not just the love between two beings of the same species, but a kind of love that transcended all biological, geographical, and even species-based constraints. In this respect, humans were truly unique. While many alien species believed love to be a relic of a primitive age, something that had no place in the higher echelons of galactic civilization, humans exhibited a capacity for emotional connection that was almost beyond comprehension. Their love was wild, untamed, a force that could bridge the gaps between galaxies, create bonds between entirely different species, and flourish under the most difficult of circumstances. It was a strange and powerful force, one that challenged every preconceived notion the other species in the universe had about what was possible. At first, the aliens watching humanity assumed that these connections were isolated, that they were limited to a small, inconsequential group of humans. Surely, they reasoned, this emotional bond between humans was just a fleeting expression of a young species, something that would fade as they matured and integrated into the greater galactic community. But the more the aliens observed, the more they realized that love was not a passing phase for humans. It was a deeply ingrained aspect of their nature. Humans loved not only within their own species, but across boundaries that many had thought impassable. As they ventured out into space, humans began to form romantic bonds with beings from entirely different world species that were nothing like them, beings whose biology, culture, and history were utterly alien. The connections were not superficial, they were genuine, profound, and deeply emotional. One of the first interspecies romances to capture the attention of the galaxy was between a human and an alien diplomat from a distant world. The diplomat, a member of a species whose biology was vastly different from humans, had come to Earth as part of a peaceful diplomatic mission. What was meant to be a simple exchange of knowledge and resources soon became something far more significant. The human, a scientist and linguist, found herself drawn to the alien in a way that was unexpected and entirely unexplainable. The alien, too, felt something stirring inside them, something they had long been taught to suppress. Despite the cultural, biological, and environmental differences, the connection between the two was undeniable. They communicated in a way that transcended language, biology, and the usual means of communication. It was an emotional connection, one that was more profound than any mere exchange of knowledge or resources. It was love. As the story of this unlikely romance spread across the galaxy, it shocked the alien community. How could such a bond exist? How could two beings from entirely different worlds, separated by eons of evolution, find something so deep and meaningful in each other? For many species, it was a concept that defied all logic and reason. And yet, there it was, happening before their eyes. Over time, more and more stories of human interspecies romances emerged. Humans began to fall in love with beings from every corner of the galaxy. Some were soft-skinned, gentle beings who had lived on planets with low gravity. Others were insectoid species, towering over humans, their physiology completely unlike anything found on Earth. Still others were beings composed of energy, not flesh, and yet they, too, were drawn to the powerful emotions that humans could offer. For these alien species, witnessing such profound, transcendent love left them utterly astounded. In the galaxy, where emotions were often dismissed as primitive and unnecessary, the raw intensity of human love was something of a revelation. It was something they could not replicate, something they could not even truly understand. In the eyes of many, it was both a beautiful and dangerous force. How could a species so young, so unpredictable, wield such a powerful tool for connection? What would it mean for the galaxy if humanity's love spread? Could it bring unity across the stars? Or would it lead to chaos? The more these alien species tried to study human love, the more they realized that it was not something to be controlled or contained. It was something that existed naturally in humans, something that was part of their essence, regardless of the circumstances they found themselves in. Even in the farthest reaches of space, human love could flourish, and it did not require perfect conditions to thrive. It was this emotional spontaneity, this unpredictability, that made humanity such a force to be reckoned with in the galaxy. While other species had evolved to suppress their emotions, to regulate them for the greater good, humans embraced their emotions as part of their identity. And it was this very embrace of emotion that allowed them to connect with other species in a way no one had anticipated. In time, humans were no longer seen as merely a young, fragile species trying to make their mark on the galaxy. They had become known for their extraordinary ability to connect with others, to bridge the gap between different species with their hearts and their emotions. They were capable of forming alliances that were not based on political gain or resource sharing, but on something far more powerful: love. The romantic bonds they formed with alien species became the foundation for interstellar cooperation and peace. In the unlikeliest of circumstances, in the darkest corners of the universe, humans had managed to create something that no one had ever expected: a galaxy-spanning network of love and connection, one that transcended biology, culture, and even time itself. As the years went on, and the story of humanity's interstellar romances spread across the galaxy, more and more alien species began to realize that this emotion, this powerful force that they had long discarded, was something worth revisiting. Humanity had proven that love could transcend any boundary, any difference. It could unite worlds, heal rifts, and create alliances that no one had thought possible. Humans had demonstrated that love was not a weakness, but a strength of force that could change the galaxy. And so, the story of humanity's interstellar romance became the foundation of a new era for the galaxy. The idea that love could span across species, that it could unite beings from different worlds, became the driving force behind new diplomatic initiatives, new alliances, and new understandings between the stars. Humanity, the once young and fragile species, had become the great unifiers of the galaxy, bringing worlds together not through war or dominance, but through the simple, yet profound, act of love. The universe had learned something invaluable from humanity: that love was not bound by space or species, and that it was the most powerful force in existence.